Okay. Ohamu. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Hello, Phalanx. Hello, Rena. Ohamu Sutokayo. Welcome. Okay, hold on. I'm still. Why am I so. I'm like crouching. I'm like looking for something right now. Okay. Ohamu. Hello, everyone. Okay. Ah, what a week. And then someone would just be like, Amuro, it's only Monday. It's like, yeah. because it's only Monday. Oh gosh. I don't know how cold it is for you guys. Stretch. Thank you. I don't know how cold it is for you guys, but it hit like 30 degrees Fahrenheit. So like I think that's like below 0 Celsius. Let me make sure I know my temperatures properly. Yeah. It was below 0. Hi, it's my negative 25 Celsius here, and I live in California. Yeah, that's my socks! I mean, it just... Oh, you would never know that kind of feeling. Good, that's good. You only know 40 degrees. Oh my god. That's crazy. Is it cause you just live in like a... Okay, I'm not here to dox people, okay? My bad. I was just like, dang, I wish I could live in Okay, I take that back. I don't want to live in 40 degrees Celsius places either. Like, that sounds awful. Okay. You know, to each their own. Everyone has their proper place and comfort level of stuff. For me, I like 21, 25, you know. It's 40 degrees Celsius here and people still take hot coffee in the morning. Well, I mean, I guess like it's different when like how you want to taste your drink. Like I preferably still like hot tea over like a cold tea even on a hot day. It just hits different no matter what. Yeah, I prefer the cold because you can outlive your cold. Heat when you're down to bare skin, good luck. It's just so painful when that happens. I grew up in New England. I'll drink iced coffee in any weather. Nice seeing people's variety of like temperature wise, you know, like what you're acceptable with, you know. And then on top of that, it's like, would you drink like hot or cold beverage even during those times? For me, hot tea every time. Hot water all the time. Even if it's hot. Even if it's a hot day. Like, cold water feels good, but I like when the hot water goes down my system. Okay, well, thankfully the observatory's heating system is working. Cold soda is your go-to for any situation. Nice. We love that, you know. We love when you just have a go-to drink. That's like you know, when you ever go to like a you guys go to like boba rolled shops, you know. and you just kind of have an idea of like what you want. That's like your base drink, you know. I think it's helpful to have something like that. I'm a dude with sweater in summer. Okay. Mood. One time I went to a place that was like 90 degrees Fahrenheit, or like, you know, 30-ish, 32-ish degrees Celsius. And I still wore like a jacket, and people were like, "Are you okay?" And I'm just like, "Yep. I need to stay warm." I'm a lizard, you know. That's why I'm a Drago and VTuber. I get cold very easily. Alright, so let's begin here. Oh, hello Chess, welcome. Jacket's comfy unless it's extremely hot. I don't know, it's like I need to have a it's like I need a blanket around me at all times. I think people, like, if you guys are able to see my hand cam streams, I'm always like, you guys always see me wearing a fuzzy jacket. So like, I think even during like the summer times of the northern hemisphere, you guys still see me with a fuzzy jacket. Like, I get cold way too easily. That's my problem. All right, so let's get down to talking about tarot cards here. Let's look over our past, our old the cards from last week and what it was telling us, and we'll see how that fits right in for you guys. Okay, so what we got last time was gain from the High Priestess, which told us that, like, oh, hold on. Sometimes I hear a ping and I'm just like, oh. The card is the means by which all is revealed. Alright, let me actually move some stuff around. I apologize. I woke up and then immediately just like turned on stream and did not like really set up my stream. Alright, High Priestess Tarot card. This was our first card, which means what we are embracing with the week ahead for last week, which was like your intuition, your subconscious mind. It's like basically your gut feeling. So like what you had, like what your gut feeling was telling you, you basically should be listening to it. Like if you're like stuck between like, oh, I have to think about something logically with like I don't know, you could just be like dealing with some sort of like job situation, stress, family, work, friends, etc, etc, and then like there's just something that just like, you know what, this just doesn't feel right. I'm gonna use my gut feeling to make that choice. And High Priestess as a major arcana basically means that like this is really important for that week that is like in front of you, you know. Like an example would be like, maybe you were doing an interview and like you haven't gotten a job offer, like they were like really positive about you getting in, but then like you haven't heard anything from them yet, and you're just like waiting and waiting, you know. You're just like, you know what, I'll just like, I'll give them a call, you know, let them, like, I just want to know. And then like maybe when you gave that call, you were like, wait, I got the job, like heck yeah, you know. Something like that, you know. It's like the High Priestess is just a guardian of the conscious mind, signifies like enlightenment, divine knowledge and wisdom. Like there's like a clarity in all of that you feel that like I can like I can do it, you know? You're encouraged to continue on the journey and the path that you've made in front of you, and you just gotta listen to your intuition to keep moving forward in it. Really love the High Priestess card for that, especially with the as our first card from last week. I was like really just telling us to like move forward, you know? But the cards that we ended up receiving after that were Pentacle cards, which basically says the release card was Page of Pentacles, which was giving us the wary idea of like, hey, like you can do everything, you can have like make these choices, but you gotta work for it. And like that's what the Eight of Pentacles also kind of doubled down on, was like a lot of this has to be due to hard work. If you did not put work into it, like you better start doing it. So it was really nice to see that those three cards came together for last week, where it just kind of felt like, hey, you know, you can trust your gut feeling, you can move forward, but like recognize that you gotta put in the work for that. And I really like that. I mean, it just really felt like, you know, like you can't just have like, again, it's like I use tarot cards as a guide, as guidance. So it's not like you just have it just thrown upon you, just being like, hey, here it is, ta-da, you know. It's like, no, it's like you gotta put in the work for these things. And I do like how the tarot cards kind of spread that out to be like that idea that I want to showcase for for my readings when I do these weekly tarot card readings. Yeah, hello, welcome Bio Penguin, currently on your 10 stream streak. That's awesome. Thank you so much. And Dre Pixel, welcome. Oh, hello. Glad to see you guys all here. Hope your reading will be better than last time. You got the 10 of Swords. Oh, that is pretty tough, but you know, everything, as I say, is about perspective. So if it's been kind of like rough on you to carry those 10 of Swords, well, hopefully you're able to let go of some of those swords so you can pick up what's more important when we do our readings for personal readings after our weekly reading here. Okay, so let's go ahead with let's see. Okay, let me open this up. Okay, well, why do I keep hiding my face under the car? Fix that. I think it's just how I'm sitting. I'm just like really I'm just always looking down. I'm a downer, you know. I'm just all right. It's like I'm playing poker. Texas Hold'em. I'm a gambler. I'll be for real. Don't be like me. I'm a gambler at heart. You see me at the card tables, at the mahjong table, going crazy. But you know, I'm not that granny right now, so we'll hold off from doing that. You fold immediately. Okay. I got my first card is a 5 of Wands. We actually had this card previously. Let me write this down real quick. Just so I have all this information down so I remember. Okay, 5 of Wands. Alright, so the 5 of Wands is about competition, conflict, rivalry, challenges, struggle, contests, discord, and contention. Ooh, okay, I do remember getting this card, I think it was like our first stream or something. Our first weekly stream. But anyways, the 5 of Wands highlights healthy competition, minor conflicts, or spark growth through challenges. So in the tarot card, the 5s typically represent conflict and change. This card indicates that you're in the midst of a battle and tension and competition with others, and it's impacting your ability to move forward with your goals. Rather than being able to work towards a common goal, you're running up against constant opposition. The Five of Wands, everyone who is fighting wants to be heard, but no one is listening. When everybody has a different opinion, but no one is stopping to hear one's out, conflict and misunderstandings will run rampant. If you find yourself in a situation, see it as an opportunity to rise above the chaos and disorder. Take a moment to listen to what others have to say, even if you agree to disagree. Sometimes this type of conflict and discussion can be very productive, such as with group brainstorming and problem solving. You need a constructive environment where you can test your ideas and have them challenged and improved by others. You may benefit from establishing a working group, committee, or mastermind group with other individuals who bring varying perspectives and experiences. Five of Wands also encourages diversity and differences of opinion. You may deal with people from different backgrounds and struggles, accept their way of living. Knowing that each person has something unique to bring to the table, and you will benefit by learning more about them and what they have to offer. It's also, the Five of Wands also encourages an enthusiastic approach to change. Like, even if the transition or transformation is coming, whether you like it or not, your challenge will be ensuring that everyone's on the same page and dealing with these shifts constructively and positively. So how I read this card, especially as an embrace card, is like accepting that there are gonna be conflicts coming up. However, like recognize that you have to be more open and empathetic about those things. I feel like this is very important, especially with the the holiday season coming up. You know, it's just like you're probably gonna be seeing your families a bit more. You're probably gonna have to like deal with a lot of stressful people if you're working in like customer service or retail, things like that. That's really like stressful. Or like, you know, you have to deal with your boss at work or something and he's going through something, but he's like taking it out on you and you're like, bro, I'm not here for that, you know. But like at the end of the day, like, just I feel like what this card is telling me, and it's an extension us, is like be open to all those like those criticisms, those conflicts that keep happening. Like maybe you have to also take extra shifts because your coworkers are just like taking days off, and then like maybe just kind of see it as like a perspective change, you know, just like, oh, maybe it's because like their kid is sick, you know, maybe they have to take their dog to the vet, stuff like that. Who knows? Like, just like try to, it's not asking you to try to be like positive and like open and stuff like that. It's just like being understanding, trying to not be like misdirected, do not feel like there's like a misunderstanding. There might be some like craziness that happens, but like recognize that like even if it does happen, you can like set out to like respect people's like what they're looking for, listen to their viewpoints, things like that. It's just like generally speaking, it's just kind of like just be above all that, you know. Don't be also be stewing in your like be creating disorder and chaos in that space as well. And like I said, like you might be a part of like the conflict or the change or the arguments and stuff like that, but like recognize where when that does happen, and then like take a step back, you know, take a step back and just be like, hey, I totally understand, I'm gonna listen to you, whether I agree or disagree with you, you know, just be like that lending ear, and then like just continue on with like what you want to move forward with, you know. And I feel like that's really good, especially around these times for well, like just for anyone, honestly. And if that's not for you, that's totally okay. Maybe it's like something more smaller, like, you know, in like a little friend circle, maybe like just at home with your family, where like there's just like a bit of conflict. You're just like, why is my mom on my case, you know? And then you kind of have to take a step back and maybe it's like, oh yeah, it's because of, I don't know, family conflicts, like she had an argument with your aunt, something like that. I don't know. It's just I'm just I'm just spitballing here ideas that kind of let you guys see some certain perspectives of like maybe the situation that's going on for you guys one way or another. All right. Okay. And so for our next card, it'll be our, oh my gosh, dude, can we like, or be for real right now? I am a little like I personally, we have been getting a lot of major arcanas from this 72 card deck. There are only like 12, 15, I don't know. There's not that many major arcana cards. The fact that this is all also like all digital, like online, is gonna happen. So I can't really like for sure like do anything about that. I do have physical tarot cards, but I I personally don't want to do like a physical stream of them yet until I get an actual deck that I feel comfortable with showcasing. But at this time, we're just using the digital format, which is totally fine, but I'm getting a little like, there's a lot of major arcanas that keep showing up that I've been like a little like there's no way it shows up 100% of the time in a 3-card spread. like be for real, like that's actually a very low chance, but it's not like it can't happen. I'm just like, it's happened 100% of the time now in like the weekly tarot readings. Like, what's so major about all these things? What is so major that's happening every single week that a major arcana shows up? Okay, for those who don't know, the Lover's card is about love, harmony, relationships, passion, connection, union, commitment, attraction. The Lover's card signifies deep emotional connections, love, and harmonies and unions of opposites. So, I'm actually gonna change a bit of how I'm perceiving the second card, because a lot of times when I used it as considered a quote-unquote lost card, it didn't really make sense with how I was reading them. What I'm gonna use it for instead is like things to like focus, you know? Like, so the first card would be a gain, which means like what we're receiving from this week ahead of us. The second card would be our focus card, which is like kind of like what we should peer more towards. What we should focus on, you know, what we should like put kind of more of our energy towards if that is something that you do want to do. Or like, you know, even if you don't put your energy towards that, it's kind of like there already, you know, like it's already nearby. And then you know, our last card will be our last card will still be our gain card, where it's like what we receive from all 3 cards. Did I say that right? Let me just double check. I'm like, should be our gain. Yeah, okay. So embrace, focus. So we'll change it to that because I've been misreading the cards, but like I've been putting a lot of like the focus thoughts onto the second card. because like it just feels like one of those things where it's like, what are you perceiving? What do you should be making sure you're putting your energy into when you see this card? So, lovers, major arcana card. I know everyone's like, it's like, oh, it's a card about love and like all that. Yes, it is. It's true. It is a card of love. But at the same time, it's not just romantically, it's also like meaningful, like connections, relationships, like even friendships, familial, like even within yourself, like spiritually, mentally, physically, things like that. Um, like while the lover's card typically refers to a romantic tie, it also represents a close friendship or family relationship where love, respect, and compassion flow. It's the card of open communication, raw honesty. The card itself typically shows a man and woman who are naked, which means they're both like willing to be vulnerable and learn with their open hearts. This card is assigned to communicate openly and honestly with those you care about. You'll create a harmonious and fulfilling relationship built on trust and respect. On a personal level, the Lover's card represents getting clear about your values and beliefs. You're figuring out what you stand for in your philosophy. Having gone through the indoctrination of the Hierophant, you are ready to establish a belief system and decide what is and what is not essential to you. So like the Lover's card as a major arcana, maybe it's like you kind of haven't really found like your like setting stone, like your moral like compass, and maybe like the Lover's card is representing that you now have a clear value, a clear idea of your values and belief, stuff like that. At the core of the Lover's card, it is about choice, choice of who you want to be in your lifetime, how you want to connect with others, what you want, and what about like what you will and won't stand for. To make good choices, you need to be clear about your personal beliefs and values and stay true to them. Not all decisions will be easy. And it's often this card is often a sign you're facing some sort of moral dilemma. Must consider all consequences before acting. The Lover's card also encourages you to unify dual forces. You bring together two parts that are seemingly in opposition and create something whole. In every choice, there's an equal amount of advantage and disadvantage, opportunity and challenges, positive and negative, and you gotta accept both these dualities. Who like you're building to be like united with. So honestly, that actually works really well with the Five of Wands card, because the Five of Wands card was telling us to embrace that there's gonna be conflict in our lives. However, the Lover's card is telling us to focus that we can like work together on this. Like at the end, in the core, like at the core of all the conflict is that you all come out of this like more like united, more understanding, more like, I don't know, like authentic, genuine, whether the other person feels it or not, you're like more genuine on yourself, you're more open to be you, even through all these conflicts and stuff like that. I think that's really beautiful. Just like even like the 501s is kind of like, even if you're going through these conflicts, people are just like kind of getting their buns twisted, like at the end your focus should be on trying to understand the people around you, like understand yourself more because of these conflicts that happen too. Like I think that's really nice. Got any inspiration for someone that has none? Well, I mean, if you're available to be on Twitch, I do general readings for those on my Twitch streams. totally okay with not, but you could also just use the weekly tarot readings that I do as your inspiration as well, to move through the week as well. I mean, it's kind of strange to kind of say like, oh, I don't have any inspiration, you know? But like for someone who does hold a s- a channel that um that does like what you do with like history and video games like together, I think that's quite an inspiration. It's quite I think it's really like interesting, and there's not a lot of people who like know those sorts of things with video games and like their correlation with some of like history that the writers get their ideas and inspirations from to do those sorts of stories. I know you spoke about that um with Final Fantasy Tactics and the War of the Roses and stuff like that. But yeah, like I can't really like for sure give you a true answer unless you want to look for it, want to seek for it. But yeah, I do these sorts of readings on Twitch personally. Um, so you can go right ahead to Twitch to check that out. When I do set that up, I will go into more details with that later. At the moment, I am going to continue the weekly readings. So yeah, like again, I did want to say as a disclaimer, I know some of you guys already heard this like a 2 bajillion times now, but it's all for like letting you guys understand that tarot cards for me are never like a for sure situation of like, oh, this is how it's supposed to be, this is how it's meant to be. I'm just like, no. This is a guide. This is a guide if you want to follow it. If it doesn't like connect with you, that's totally okay. Like you don't have to like listen to grandma ramble right now about all of this. Like this is all just like what you want to feel from it, not what I want to feel from it, you know? Like what I'm telling you is an idea of like what could be ahead. But at the end of the day, if you want to implement that energy and time to and focus with what I've said, that's on you, you know. I'm not gonna like tell you what to do. It's just whatever you feel like is best or more comfortable when those things are being when that information is given to you, you know. All right, so for our third card is what we are gaining from these three cards, or yeah, these two cards in front of us. And that will be the reverse Knight of Wands. Okay, what are you telling us here? What are we gaining? I feel like we got this card before. Knight of Wands? Knight of Wands. Okay, I was like, looks like swords. But they said it's a Knight of Wands. I think last time we got Knight of Swords, and that Knight cards kind of have very similar readings to each other. So Knight of Wands reverse means impulsiveness, recklessness, inconsistency, erratic, disorderly, unsteady, unpredictable, volatile. Knight of Wands may signal impulsive behaviors or a lack of follow through in your adventurous ideas. Alright. Honestly, this actually follows up with the other two cards really well. Cause like, cause it's like, what is like your true focus, you know? Knight of Wands reverse may appear when you're actively pursuing a personal passion project or hobby. A fire has lit within you. You're doing everything to move this passion project forward. You have no intention of turning it into a raging success. It's simply for you to enjoy and channel your energy into. Knight of Wands reverse can signal you're experiencing a considerable buildup of energy, but you're unsure how to channel it into the world effectively. You may have a creative restlessness. You may have knowing that you're destined for something big, but you're restricted from taking action. Perhaps there are frustrating delays, insurmountable obstacles, or people standing in your way. Conversely, the reverse Knights of Wands suggest you would be acting impulsively, trying to accomplish everything at once. You're rushing from one task to another without focus on the details or ensuring sustainable success. You may adjust your path somewhat while staying true to your original idea. Knights of Wands reverse also suggests you're at risk of acting impulsively, so be careful that you're not reacting instantly to everything that happens. Give your circumstances some space and time before you take action. You may also find yourself feeling frustrated that factors beyond your control are impacting your situation. But yeah, so like it sounds really funny that like this is given after like the other two cards are just like, hey, there's gonna be conflict and you gotta like work with what you have. And this one card is just like, what are you gaining from this? Is like, don't be impulsive about like the choices you make, you know? Like give it a lot of thought, even if the conflict in front of you is like kind of happening, you know? Like the Lovers card is kind of telling us that there's gonna be things that we have to step up to like choose to like make a choice on. But however, the Knight of Wands is like, what are we gaining from all that? Like you have to recognize that you can't be like acting too impulsively from those choices you make. So like, for example, when we had the High Priestess that was telling us to trust our guts, you know, like if we got that card and then we got the Knight of Wands, we'll be like, bro, we got two conflicting, like in my opinion, like in my thoughts, like it's like conflicting like ideas. It's like, what are we gaining from hearing all that? It's like to be careful, but like it's like, do you truly have to trust your guts? Whereas for this one, it's kind of just telling you like, yes, you can make the choices, but recognize that like you shouldn't be making those choices impulsively, you know? Like there's gonna be these conflicts, you're gonna have to like work through it. Maybe you have like some like experiencing some like energy order, just not the right word. It's just like stuck, you know? And you have to like make the choice of where to like put that energy into, basically. And that's what the Knight of Wands is telling us. I honestly I'm feeling more and more cons on this like digital like tarot reading than pros, but it's still like really good. Part of me just doesn't want to actually read like I don't want to read the things on the side. I feel like the way they talk about reverse cards are just so negative. Sorry, this is like my own like pet peeve when it comes to tarot reading. Reverse cards are not negative. They sound negative, but they're more of like a warning and concern of like what's coming ahead and what you should be focusing on. And it's not just like, ooh, like this bad thing is gonna happen. No. That's not what this is about. Like reverse tarot cards are just another part. It's just another perspective you gotta perceive, you know? It does suck sometimes when it does come off actually quite negative, but that doesn't mean that it is a negative thing. Yeah, at least don't let the negatives define you. Like, I just still think about I just still think about that one time I had to like do a reading for someone and they got mad at me for just reading negative like reverse tarot cards. And it wasn't even a negative like reading. It was just like telling them to like take a break because they were overworking themselves and they saw that card and they were like, if you don't take a break, you're gonna hurt yourself. And then they were like, oh my god, like I don't want to see that. And I'm like, no, it's like guiding you to tell you to like to like rest. And if they're like, no, like I'm like, oh my god, why'd you even come to me for a reading then if you're not gonna listen to me? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's let me write that down. Alright, so our gain from all of this week would eventually be a reverse Knight of Wands, which does tell us to just not be doing everything impulsively, to focus and recognize like the choices we make has to be with thoughts, even if it is like happening at that time. Like maybe it's trying to tell you to like do some quick thinking, kind of recognize where people are coming from. I feel like a lot of these cards are just kind of telling us like there are going to be choices we have to make when there's like these conflicts that happen in front of us, that like sure it's going to be really stressful, but it's gonna be okay. I don't know what you guys are going through, but I hope whatever you guys are going through with the conflicts in front of you, that like the choices you make should be like the best, like it should be like the best choice you make out of what you know, like it's from your beliefs, it's from your morals when you make that choice, don't try to like make a choice outside of like, well, just because of like someone said this is what I should be doing. But do you feel like comfortable or confident in that choice you make, I think that's quite important with what this spread is telling us for this week. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to doing personal readings for you guys. Let me set that up. I don't know how many I can do today. I have recognized I have been using my voice a lot, so I am going to try to be more careful with that. So probably during the my draw stream this week, or even some of the other streams this week, I am gonna be less talkative, but I will try to still have like, I'll still just converse. Alright, so the draw card draw card ping is now available, so feel free to use that, and I can do a reading for you guys. Alright. Draw a card for Virgil about emotions. That's interesting. Okay. Giving it a bit of a thought before I flip a card up here. Emotions. Sounds quite deep. What are these emotions about? But you don't need to answer that. I'm just kind of like trying to like peer into your soul with your with the cards. All right. Reverse King of Pentacles, I think is what it is. Let me just double check with the right click. Yep, okay. Reverse King of Pentacles. Maybe of self-indulgence and temperance, huh? Oh. Thank you guys. I will drink some more water and then stretch right now. Really appreciate it. Alright, do want to show off that King of Pentacles, when it's reverse, sorry, it's just like, it's about greed, materialistic ideas, being wasteful, poor financial decisions, possessiveness. but what does that truly mean? So I'm just gonna do a general reading for the reverse of Knights, or reverse King of Pentacles first, before we go into like dive personally into the emotional side of this card. When reversed, the King of Pentacles falls from his throne. Once the king of a prosperous kingdom is taken away from him or lost, disconnected from the energy of his suit, he may have been impatient, he may have been too indulgent, he may have gambled too far and overstretched himself, he may have sought shortcuts that led him to ruins, he may become too focused on the material and only understand the cost of things, and never their values. King of Pentacles reversed may also signify that your definition of success and happiness is also determined by outer appearances and not by the true value that security and stability can bring to you. It is time for you to cultivate a more holistic attitude to the material world and find an authentic happiness. In terms of love, this card can mean that someone dear to you is currently facing issues due to matters concerning their career. The King of Pentacles appearance in a reading can indicate some sort of material loss or a loss in reputation. Beware that you not replicate these mistakes. So Pentacles, generally speaking, are very materialistic thoughts. So I do wonder how it comes out as a feelings card, as an emotional card. So receiving this card, if you're asking how this person feels about you, you may be experiencing perhaps insecurities or instability. Their feelings may be clouded by doubts about their own worth and ability to provide. They might admire your strength but feel inadequate in comparison, leading to a sense of jealousy or possessiveness that complicates their emotions towards you. As you're reflecting on your own feelings, frustrations or disappointment regarding stability and security may come up to light. You could feel like you're not being valued for who you are or what you bring to the table. This card emotionally encourages introspection. Consider whether you're seeking validation from external resources rather than nurturing self-worth from within. So from what I read and what I've perceived from that, perhaps like what you're feeling maybe like what you want to receive externally, sometimes when people growing up, like when they're kids, like they want that external, that external validation from their parents, but like you're not receiving it, and you start feeling like a really like negative or bad about yourself. But in fact, like this card is kind of telling you to recognize that like you're not valuing yourself, or like the people around you are not valuing yourself, or not accepting like how you feel, the emotions that you have, the feelings you bring to like the group and stuff like that. And in a sense, it is kind of telling you to maybe like give yourself a bit more self-love, Maybe like what you're experiencing, like emotionally you're feeling a bit insecure about yourself. Maybe there's some instability about yourself and the ability to like provide for others, your own self-worth. Like you feel inadequate in comparison from your peers, maybe like your family members are like expecting a lot from you, but like you're not able to do that because there's just so much pressure upon that, and that just ends up kind of being complicated. Maybe you're emotionally feeling jealous, or if people around you are feeling jealous. I can't say for sure which is which. It might be just like how you want to perceive yourself alongside perceiving those around you, like in emotional level. Like you could be feeling that frustration or people feeling frustrated with you, again, just a perspective, POV of all that. At the end of the day, like just like be able to recognize that this feelings, these emotions that you may be thinking of, or the emotions that are given to you, like from the peers around you, are going to pass. Like I've mentioned, pentacle cards are quite materialistic. So in a sense, because of like material items, the feelings that they have are like very likely not permanent, like what you're feeling too won't be permanent. um it can be like probably something you're just holding so tightly right now, or what the other person is holding tightly right now. But similar to how like material items are, they're not gonna like be there like all the time, like it's just how you want to like hold that item, hold that feeling that you receive or is received from others. That's how I'm reading this card, at least on an emotional level, is that like it can go both ways with like the feeling of validation or insecurities or your frustrations. But just know that um it's not wow, brain is like blanking out. It's not permanent there. Like these feelings are not permanent, and you have to like just work around it. If we read that alongside the spread that we have right now, it might be just telling you to make a choice. It might be a major choice, but it might be making a choice to feel like you have to make yourself feel comfort in your emotional state. There might be some choices you have to make to feel like you're not invalidated in your feelings, in your in your emotions. Sorry. But yeah, I hope that was helpful. May or may not be relevant to perhaps what you're going through, and if it is, I do hope that you have a place to like be able to be open about that with the people around you too. It's pretty tough, I'll be honest. Feeling those sorts of emotions, if it does come up, whether it's you're the person feeling it or someone really close to you are feeling that, it is really stressful. For me, I will like I feel that. I wouldn't say like a lot, but when I do feel like those emotions of feeling like not like those feelings of frustration, of not feeling valued, or I feel like that tinge of jealousy and things like that. For me, I personally look at it like within myself. I'm just like, how can that motivate me? Like, how can I be a better person knowing that I have these feelings? Like, I mean, you can easily just put this down into like a pure like situation, like, oh, someone's doing a lot better in like in their work, even though you've been at the workplace for a lot longer, you know, and I'm like, oh, I feel a little jealous that like I'm not being perceived by my boss and stuff like that. So like, what are you supposed to do? And you know, there's like two ways to this. You know, you could be like, well, the boss is never gonna care about me, so I'm just gonna give up. You know, I'm just gonna give up. I'm just gonna like do whatever I want. Who cares, you know? And that could be a choice you're making, you know. The other choice you could make is just like, well, I'm recognizing I'm doing the best that I can, you know. If the boss hates me, whatever, that sucks. I could go, you know, probably look for another job while I'm you know, still at this one. But I recognize my limitations. I recognize that I can't do as much as other people, but I'm doing the best I can. And if I can find that value in myself with that feeling, then I should feel comfortable and confident with myself that way too. And that's how I personally go through those feelings of like emotions when I'm feeling those I guess quote unquote negative emotions rise up. But in a way, first things first is be able to feel those emotions before you move on ahead to feel like you don't feel like you should. Feeling the emotions are very important, you know, at the end of the day. What you do with those emotions, like the actions behind it, is a totally different story, and that's for you to decide, you know. Alright, clown shoes, finding love. Here we go. Whoa! We see the High Priestess again. What an amazing card. Major Arcana. Okay, so High Priestess, as we got from last time, was about intuition, was about the mystery, spiritually, like higher power, your inner voice, like trusting your guts, whatnot. So we'll do a little general reading of the High Priestess again. Okay, I'm gonna explain. I was in my first relationship 4 years ago. It lasted 6 years, but since then, it looks like I can't find love. Only friends. Oh, okay. Well, so let's like see this more than just like love. We'll just see it as like more broad. Like, what does that have to do with like including your friends as well? So the Upright High Priestess card general reading is related to inner knowledge. Her appearance in a reading can signify that it's time for you to listen to your intuition rather than prioritizing your intellect and conscious mind. She represents someone that is intuitive and beginning to open to their spirituality. When she appears in a reading, she's calling to you to listen to her message and follow her into your own depth. And search within yourself to be done with the answer that you seek. The answers to your questions you are within you, you know, not from the outside. The Upright Priestess, when it comes to love, is to remain patient. Be calm with your inner passion and intimacy. A High Priestess in a love tarot reading can signal almost an unconscious change in one's emotional state. A calm surface can hide intense emotions, and even seemingly simple dates can turn into raging passions. This High Priestess tarot love meaning suggests that one needs patience and trust your intuition. Be honest with others and yourself, and let what is hidden come to the surface. High Priestess also shows intimacy and openness. In a reading like this, it also signals honesty that is essential to making your relationship as strong as it can be. How I perceive it, honestly, from what you're telling me, is that it's not a bad thing that you're finding friends. If anything, that's also showing me that like the people who want to like still be your friends, even what you're looking for is love, is that they trust in you for being honest, for being open, like for being yourself, you know. A major thing possibly is to be patient with those feelings you have. Like you said that you're in a relationship 4 years ago that lasted 6 years, and now you're kind of struggling with like, oh, I'm trying to look for it, I'm still looking for it, but all I see are friends. But does that mean like you don't love your friends as well? I understand that, it's kind of like, oh, but I'm looking for like romantic love. But in my mind, I'm like, but aren't you kind of finding that love? Sure, it's not in like the right place that you're looking for, but you're finding love in the people that you end up being friends with. They're like people who has come around to like love that person that you are. Sure, it's not the romantic love that you may be like looking for, but nonetheless, these people who end up being your friends are still around, who do like love that side of you. Um, this card can also like indicate, trusting your gut feelings with the people around you, trusting the choices that you end up making to try to create those relationships. Oh, of course they still love you. That's great. um High Priestess is also like a calling to be true to yourself, to seek that genuine connection. um in a way, like maybe you're looking to be drawn to someone who's more like enigmatic. Maybe you're the partner, like the potential partner you're looking for. Maybe they're like just someone around you and they just have these hidden feelings. There's like, it's like to them, like they're hiding it because of something. I don't know. I'm not the other person, but like maybe they have that feeling, like they have a deep, strong feeling of that, but it's being hidden. And it's maybe someone you have a powerful bond with as well. And who knows, like maybe it's just someone like who is like around you. But at the end of the day, the High Priestess is kind of telling you to like, don't ignore like the subtle signs that end up happening that you may see. Be patient about it, like allow these things to unfold naturally. Don't rush to the conclusion of it. Embrace like the quiet moments that are happening. Like yes, you are feeling quite that, like maybe that impatience feeling, the impatient feeling that you're having, but like just like find it, like connect to yourself and your peers around you. Or maybe like explore like outside of that too, like maybe outside of your circle, outside of the Discord groups, outside of I don't know, like if you do VR chats, something like that. Oh no, you're okay. High Priestess is a lovely card. I really do love this card because this card, generally speaking, is always about like looking within, looking within yourself, seeing everything kind of slow down, like take your time, be patient, stuff like that. And if we're gonna connect this with our weekly tarot reading too, it also is about like choices. It's about not jumping, like not rushing in. It's all very, very like take it slow, one step at a time. Just be patient with yourself. I know, like you're probably like, I've been patient, I've been patient for 4 years, and it's kind of hard when you're like, I've been doing this, but when a major arcana, in my opinion, comes up, it's kind of doubling down on like those feelings. Like it's take that time, take that space. Maybe you need to like search somewhere else. I don't know, go out to a convention or something. There's those like there's like those speed dating there's like those speed dating what are they, panels, you know? Maybe like, okay, like this is just me just spitballing again. I'm not telling you to just go out there, you know. If you want to, you can, but I'm just saying, like, you know, there's those speed dating panels where you just play like hot potato with like someone. Maybe there's like something you could just easily connect to, try it out, you know. Like, if there's something you've never tried, like maybe the High Priestess card is telling you to like maybe try it out, and then trust your instincts, trust your guts, be patient about it all, you know. Oops. Thanks. Usually patient because I was 24 when you had your first relation and had turned down some candidates I knew that would not last, so to avoid to be hurt or to hurt us. No, that's totally fine. I feel like you kind of have a good idea of like who you are as a person. You know, there could still be like time with all that, you know. Like there's still time to think about all that as well. It's not like we stopped growing after like we hit 30 or 40 and stuff, you know. Like we're still learning about ourselves, but like you have an idea of like your morals that's more set in stone now at this point, in my opinion. Like you should. If you don't, again, the weekly tarot spread is kind of telling you like, hey, you should make that choice, you know. Yeah, wait, that sounds great. A Christmas party, like, you know, you're kind of debating like, oh, should I do it? But like, you know, maybe you could meet someone there, you know? That sounds really fun. I don't get invited to Christmas parties, so it's good that you are. Yeah, wait, that sounds so exciting. I'd be happy to hear about that later, whether or not that works out with the cards, but you know, again, just offer guides. And I'm just like, wow, that sounds fun. Like, I think if I ever got invited to a Christmas party, I definitely feel like I'm in the same boat where I was just like, should I go or not? And then I'd be like, I need to touch grass, so I'll do it. All right, Alex, you want to talk about work? Okay. So for work, we have, ooh, Judgment Reverse. So, wow, that sounds quite scary. What card didn't you ask about work last time too? Do you remember the card that you got last time too, or did you ask for something else? But yeah, so Judgment card is also another major arcana. It is about self-doubt, lack of self-awareness, failure to learn lessons, or self-loathing. Yeah, no problem, Clown Shoes. Clown Shoes. You can just call me Umbro. Seru is my father's name. So, Reverse Judgment card can mean that you doubt and judge yourself too harshly. This could cause you to miss opportunities that were awaiting you. The lost momentum causes you to fall behind in your plans, which makes it difficult to move forward. That means that you should not be cautious, but you should be moving forward with pride and confidence instead. Oh yeah, no worries, no problem. A big thing for me too with card reading, remembering the card you had previously, is helpful, but it, you know, it doesn't like write the stars for you, you know. It's just like, it's like, again, a guide. So the Judgment Reversal card can be a push to take time out of your busy routine to reflect upon your life to this point and what you have learned so far. You're most likely not giving yourself the time or space to fully think about the matter and learn the lessons you need to be able to progress with awareness. You can also be too critical about your past actions, so you're not giving yourself forgiveness to move forward. The mistakes we have made in the past are learning tools, so they help us move through life. Focusing too hard on these mistakes can cause us to trip and fall. Career-wise, it could be about self-doubt at work, failure to take the responsibility for mistakes you've made. It can also be like you're too self-denying. of like opportunities that come up during work as well. Like maybe you've been too harsh on yourself lately, you've made mistakes at work, and you find it hard to let go of those feelings of disappointment. And instead of making amends and moving on, so you'll be left with a lingering sense of doubt about your own abilities. Alternatively, this card can signal you are unable to take responsibilities of your own actions, not learning the lessons you need in order to take the next steps in your career. Maybe you'll lack awareness when it comes to handling yourself, maybe grading on colleagues. Have you been doing all that you can when it comes to work projects? Are you communicating with others well? Are you shifting the blame to others? You might be also going through like perhaps a financial setback, so you may be harsh on yourself about it. It's important to learn your lessons when it comes to making responsible choices. It's also helpful to be kind to yourself so that you can remain motivated. On the other hand, this could suggest that you may be falling into the same patterns when it came to financial decisions, so be aware what side of the spectrum you're falling on. So I feel like this card is kind of telling us a mix of things. Like either you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself during like at work, or like, you know, putting like it's like a major feeling. Yeah, it does help. Knowing the past card you got does help with self-criticism and just recognizing like where you stand at this point too. So like I feel like with Judgment card, of how I'm perceiving this with work is like maybe you're putting a lot of pressure yourself in the work. Maybe you have a fear of failure, or you're experiencing that self-doubt. I see, yeah. And like, you know, you're kind of like maybe you're like heading to stagnation. Maybe there's like a missing of like an opportunity at work, you know, because of all the mess that's happening there. The reverse judgment might be asking to release that perfectionism and maybe trust in your abilities to move forward. Like with work, you might be not believing you're ready for a promotion, preventing you from taking action to do a big decision that might like, you know, get you rising up there. You have a lot of self-doubt in that. Maybe you're ignoring your intuition or waiting for an external permission when you should be like again with the cards that are given to us for the weekly tarot is telling us to make that choice yourself, you know, instead of waiting for that external choice instead. Maybe you have a lot of like self-criticism, like it's very loud, it's very harsh on you. There's a lot of problems and you feel like you're not doing enough, you know, you're preventing like taking a risk because of those that critique within you, or like the pressure around you. Maybe right now you're stuck in a job or situation where you're resisting change, or like, you know, missing promotions, or growing in a field that you want to be in instead, like looking for another place you want to work at. Maybe, and then like the other part of it also is like maybe you're judging others too harshly, you know, like in your workforce. Maybe you're feeling a bit too self-important, or maybe you're feeling unfairly judged or scapegoated by others too, you know. So like all of these, yeah, it does sound really stressful, and you're just like, man, it just feels like a mess, you know. At the end of the day, you know, like pay attention to like what you're feeling, what you're wanting to do towards your career path. You'll have to make those choices. Recognize to forgive yourself if you're feeling a lot of self-judgment. Recognize you don't need to be perfect when these things happen, and you just keep moving forward. So like recognize where you messed up. Don't judge yourself too harshly. Like I feel like when you do already recognize having that guilty feeling, you should already like you do already recognize that you messed up, you know. But like don't don't hurt yourself over that feeling over and over again, you know? Recognize that mistake, move on, and try to not do it again, you know? Instead of just not taking action, just take small actions towards what you want to do. Trust that the choices you make are worthy of, you know, the choices that you have. And if you're unsure with like these decisions that you may be making, you might have to seek guidance within others. Maybe like, I don't know. I feel it sounds weird to be like, maybe seek that guidance from like your peers at work. Or maybe you can ask like someone who's in the higher field of that work that you trust, you know? Stuff like that. I hope that was helpful. Judgment is a very scary card to look at. I mean, looking at it looks kind of scary. Oh. Yeah, of course, no worries. I'm glad to read it for you. But yeah, just remember, you know, to be able to recognize the space you're in, not to be too like internally thinking about everything. And I think one step at a time, it'll be okay. Yeah, I feel like you had a work question last time too, and it did tell you to be careful or be aware of your surroundings and stuff. If I'm remembering correctly. If not, feel free to just there's the VODs of last week on YouTube, and you can give that a check up as well. But yeah, all right. Yeah, of course. Thank you for letting me read your card. Hopefully, hopefully you can you know, make a fair decision. Oh, did hover around that topic, did it? Oh gosh. But yeah, don't forget to, you know, think within yourself to make that fair decision in your mind. Alright, did anyone want to do another reading? Like, it's open. Draw a card is available now. Hi Poppy, welcome. How have you been? Hope you've been well. Another general card reading. All right. Can people double dip if it's open? Unfortunately, no. There is only one reading per tarot reading session. So just to give people more a chance to be able to get their readings done. Yeah, no worries. I appreciate you asking. I feel like in the future, if I'm able to do like personal readings and people feel comfortable with that, we can do like a Git submission with that. But for the time being, I'll just do like one card general readings. It'll be a lot easier on me to keep practicing with card reading as well. Alright. Bossmeyer. Another general reading. Okay. Alright. Well, we got... what is this? 8 of Cups? 8 of Cups reversed. Okay. 8 of Cups reversed. Oops. Cups. When it's about reverse, it's about stagnation, monotony, accepting less, avoidance, fear of change, and staying in a bad situation. So, getting the 8 of Cups reverse is that can show that one is in a state of confusion about which path they are supposed to take. Confusion usually arises from not knowing what is best for you, and in the end, drifting in a sea of uncertainty is going to be the resulting effect. One is likely to find themselves being aimless and not having clear-cut goals in their lives, and in the end, they almost end up following whatever the waves of life take them. On the other hand, you may be aware of what you need to do. There's something in your life that has a long time stopped bringing you joy or pleasure. And though your soul's desire is to fly away from it, you find yourself remaining there. The thought of leaving the security of what you have built fills you with fear. You're scared of both change and of losing something that has given you great comfort. Most people find themselves stuck in limbo because they're stuck between two important decisions. For instance, one might want to change and work on themselves for better, and at the same time they may not be in a position to make that necessary sacrifice that are necessary in order to achieve. We must have courage to believe that we deserve better, and there are even more joyous things that are waiting for us in this journey. So like this could be like, you know, maybe you're staying around in a bad relationship with, like, I don't know, a friend, a family. You have a fear of being alone. Maybe you've accepted an unfulfilling job that's, like, you know, it does well for you, but you have the fear of change to to have that fear of change to get a job that makes you more fulfilled. Maybe you're choosing a financial security because of the job over your happiness, things like that. You know, something with like the reverse 8 of Cups. It's like kind of your gut feeling to telling you to leave a partnership, something that's holding you back. It's important to engage into that and question that fear as well, like putting down the pros and cons of everything. You did invest a lot of time into another person, but sometimes it must be wise, and you must be wise enough to leave when it truly isn't working. Again, this kind of goes back with like our tarot reading, where it's like you have to make a choice, you know? And that can just go with like, you know, love, relationships, career, financial decisions, stuff like that. Like you might be feeling unfulfilled in your career and you have the power to change that, but you're scared of moving forward because it gives you like stability, you know? I mean, all these concerns and stuff is valid. You just gotta understand or recognize, like, what is truly worth it? Like, is my financial situation more important than my happiness, you know? And for some people, like, it is. You just have to make that choice, that decision that is given to you. Again, all of these choices shouldn't be made suddenly. Have some patience, make that choice with a lot of thoughts in mind. I did not pull any cards, but Amuro is speaking to my soul right now. I would like to think that like a lot of these cards that do end up being pulled for other people, that you guys can kind of look within yourself too and be like, oh, you know, this is me, you know? Oh, I feel that, you know, something like that. But yeah, I hope that was helpful, Fossmeyer, where you kind of feel like maybe you're stuck in a rut somewhere, and you have to make a choice in between like your own happiness or the happiness of others, and there's no like, and it's just like one way or the other at this point, you know? It's like, it's really hard to make a choice, that like a tough choice when it comes to being like, is this like for me or is this like for the other party, you know? And in my opinion, there is no wrong choice for this. However, like, recognize like yourself, you know? Like, recognize how you want to feel from that. Like, at the end of the day, the choice you make will be like what you end up choosing that makes you feel comfortable, you know? like in the end, make this choice with confidence, you know. I hope that helped out. I'm like, I forgot what I'm trying to say. Yeah, of course, no problem. Appreciate it. Really love reading cards for you guys, and especially for ones who keep returning. I do try to remember what you guys asked for last time. I have a brain of a pea, so like I think next time when I do these, I will write them down. Unless you guys don't want me to. Is that a little weird? Like trying to trying to remember what we did last time. Yeah, do a spreadsheet. Cause like for me, like I do want to like be able to recognize and help guide you guys when you guys do ask me for a card reading, because I'd feel bad if you guys asked for something and I like completely forgot what was asked last time, and I'm just like, oh gosh, I feel like it's really important for these sorts of things. Oh yeah, go ahead, you can pull a card. No, I'm not ending my stream anytime soon. I'll end it when I feel like people have done enough card pullings, or if I need to take a break. What am I playing later today? Like I said, I have a brain of a pea. I have a like little pea pod brain. Alright, I'm coming to continue in kimono tea time. Oh boy. Alright, about work. Okay, let's see. We got, oh, what is this? Six of Pentacles. Ouch. 6 of Pentacles reversed. Oh yeah, totally, of course. You don't gotta thank me for reading your cards. I'm very happy to. It helps me as well to understand my peers a lot as well. Okay. So the reverse 6 of Pentacles, generally speaking, means power dynamics, abuse of generosity, strings attached gift, inequality, and extortion. So a quick reading of it generally is that it can suggest charity can be one way. You have loaned someone money. You should not be expecting your money to be paid back, or your favor to be returned in the future. You should be cautious about the people you're lending money to, especially if you are not financially stable. 6 of Pentacles reversed can also warn you about debt you have. This can mean you're in over your head and going to come back and be a major problem in the future. You should also be careful of entering business endeavors during this time, because you could end up with a huge loss instead of getting a return on your investment. 6 of Pentacles reversal meaning is that there's a selfishness related to giving and charity. This may mean you're willing to give others in a way that does not benefit them, but to benefit yourself. You should be cautious that you're not being charitable to prove you're giving generous to others. I don't know why I said orders. Oh my gosh. Words are very hard. No, not the debt. Yeah, this is in this economy, like, what are you doing? Your source of generosity should be selfless and not selfish. So with career or like work or like money, I guess for me, I see work related to money in some way, which is important because let's be real. If we didn't have to live in this societal construct, I think a good chunk of us would love to just, do what we enjoy and not be at work, But yes, anyways. 6 of Pentacles reverse in the workplace is to be aware of people in your workplace that can seem helpful and generous, but they may have hidden agendas. Someone may abuse their position of power or offer you help, but then these create the circumstance or feeling that you owe them later on. They may ask you to do something at the cost of your honor. If you're someone with power, remember to give your help without asking anything in return. You must have memories of what it's like when you were younger. If you're someone that is receiving help, be sure not to abuse that help either. Are you sucking up to someone whose position or status can aid you? This may be more obvious to others than you think. Avoid that temptation. Remain honest with yourself and others. And if you're looking for financial help, it may look bleak right now. It doesn't seem like there are others that can offer you what you need. And if you find someone willing to help you, be cautious. Check their loan terms are fair, or that gifts don't come with strings attached. If you're someone who is in a position to give, avoid feelings of resentment or taking advantage of your financial comfort. Beware of scams that prey on kind hearts. So this might be saying that, like, well, first off, Poppy, I don't think you're a person who are gonna be throwing IOUs in front of people's faces. However, do be careful of those feelings that you might get if you do end up, helping someone out in those spaces. I do understand, especially with like a workplace environment. You're not like actually like, woo, happy-go-lucky friends with like all your coworkers, but it's like, don't let those feelings of like IOUs to like be making the choices of helping others. But at the same time, be aware of people that you might know who do use that as an advantage against you, Like, they might be like, oh, hey, Poppy, can you do this for me? And then, you're a very kind soul. And you're like, yes, of course. And then they just take advantage of that. And you're like, and then they're like, hey, remember when you did this? Can you do that for me on X day? And I'll do Y for you. But then they never do the Y. Like, that could happen too. So be careful of people taking advantage of that kindness of yours, and being aware of be aware of your kindness, and also avoid those feelings of resentment that you might receive when you might be thinking you're taking advantage of someone else. They're not saying you can't ask for help, but just don't do it out of like using someone. That's kind of how I'm perceiving this card. I hope that's helpful, Poppy. And part of me is just like, who's trying to take advantage of you? I'm gonna fight them. I'm gonna beat them up. Is it your boss? I'm gonna beat your boss up. My friend once bought an Egyptian tarot, and I swear to you, it kept giving us the sassiest answers. My goodness. But yeah, I hope that was helpful, Poppy. I don't know. You got scolded by your boss today? Oh, that's so sad. I think you're doing your best. I think like, I feel like, I won't lie, I feel like some bosses don't know like where they used to be. I mean, this is also about like power dynamics. Maybe like a lack of self-worth on yourself, dependency. there's like some unfairness at work as well. Do you feel like you need constant validation at work, Poppy? Because maybe that's like what you're feeling too. Or maybe you're an employer who's getting like underpaid, or you feel like you're groveling with no fair returns. But here's what you should do, in my opinion, is that establish that boundaries, you know? Set your limits and ensure that you're not being... You know, I don't blame you! In this economy, yes, like, I don't blame you. Like, how I see it is like, set your limits, set your boundaries, recognize like inward that like, yeah, maybe your boss yelled at you, you know, but like it's gonna be okay, you know. You still have your job, you still like can rely on yourself, you're still like looking, you're like, you just want to be treated well. You know. Review like where you're putting your time and energy. I think like that's a major thing, at least with work, is like recognizing what you can or can't do. The Mr. Krabs syndrome is normal in this economy. But yeah, don't worry. Don't feel bad. How I see it for a lot of people, I think like when a lot of people are like, oh my god, you're just doing a job for a job. It's like, yes, of course I am. Of course I have a job so I can make money. Like I don't think people should... I don't think people should like feel bad about that at all. Like if like your boss is making you feel bad about like why are you like, don't you want to like flip burgers? It's like, no, man. Yeah, it seems like a lot of working folks have a rough patch lately. But as I mentioned, if we relate all of this back to our weekly tarot reading, remember that there is like, you can make a choice, you know. It's telling us there's gonna be conflicts, but there's gonna be choices you'll have to make. Just don't be impatient about making those choices. Like think about all the pros and cons before you make those choices, and stick to your morals when you do make those choices too. And it'll be okay. I promise. Well, okay, I can't promise that, but I believe in that. I believe in all that. Alright, anyone want to do a reading here? I can probably take up 2 more, so if people are interested. Belief is worth more than promises these days. I'm a big believer in believing in others. So I can't make promises, you know. I can't make promises, but I believe that you guys will be alright. It's tough out there. I mean, especially with the holidays and like work and like end of the year and like having to do like all this thing. I'm like, bro, I'm Gucci, I'm good. Like it's tough, it's scary, but like I'm good. I don't want to deal with like, I don't know if my stomach rumble went through the microphone, but it was really loud, so I apologize. I have to leave, but thank you for the reading, the stream, the music, everything's so relaxing. I love it. Yeah, of course. I appreciate you being able to stop by even for a bit for a reading. Thank you for coming over. I'll see you next time, alright, Poppy? Take care. At least this feels like we're in it together more so than before. $40 an hour? Damn! Wish that were me. I make chump change. Alright, a general reading for you, Chess. Let's see what we get. Hmm. Five of Cups, reverse. Okay. For a minute, I was like, Death card. That's pretty alright, all things considered. But, Five of Cups, reversed means acceptance, moving on, finding peace, contentment, and seeing positives. So it's, I don't know why. Why does it have a skull on it? That's a little weird. Okay. Again, a little quips against this tarot card. I feel like I should replace these pictures with like something else. I'm just like, some of these just like, they're not bad, but they're not really telling like the full story. Like, they're a little too simplified in my opinion. But that's just me. An Amuro themed deck would be cool. Maybe I could get like commission of that or something. Oh yeah, Toho theme. I wanted to buy a Major Arcana Toho deck one time, but like I really wanted a full deck. That would have been really nice. Major Arcanas are really cool, but like having a full deck that is Toho theme is way more like up my alley than just getting the Major Arcanas. Yeah. I think we may have seen the same one. But yeah, so the Five of Cups reversal shows a significant recovery from regret as you properly accept as well as a proper acceptance of your past. You're beginning to realize all the implications of your actions, and you have come to appreciate the lessons which can be learned from that experience. You may even start to recognize the overall value of the painful experience you had in the larger scheme of things. You are seeing that the suffering and grief that you endured gave you strength and imbued you with resilience. You're ready to pick up the two remaining cups on this card. You're still full and go on with your life in full force. Okay, so I did want to say on this tarot card, usually it shows five cups with two of them like spilled. This will just for some reason shows a skull cup, which I guess kind of makes sense because it's like about loss and grief when it's upright. But like, oh wait, sorry, yeah, there's like several cups that are spilled. I think it's 3 actually, not 2. I don't know why this one says 2. Oh, pick up the 2 remaining cups which are still full to go on with your life. Okay, never mind, that makes sense. So it's like the cups that are still standing, you can recognize that they're still full and that you can go on with your life knowing that, you know, you've endured the pains, but you gotta like recognize the positives now and move forward with it. So if I love, meaning it's like moving on from a past relationship, healing from old wounds that you've had. Poppy made Major Arcana Tarot cards. Should finish and make a whole deck. Yeah, for sure. I'll use them. Hello, Polly. Welcome. That's really awesome, though. I didn't know Poppy has made a tarot card deck before. I wish I could buy them. With career meaning, maybe there was a job loss that leads you to a better position. Healing from a career misstep. Maybe a financial loss, you know, you're rebuilding your financial security. The 5 of Cups is about moving on, letting go of past griefs and suffering. If you're going through a breakup or like a loss, seeing this card is a welcoming sight to help motivate you to accept what has happened, make peace with it, and move on. Take this as a chapter closes in your life and make room for the present, for the future, and to not compare like what was happening in your past. If you're still healing, it is only natural to give yourself time and be gentle with yourself. You know, it's a sign of recovery. Healing is on the way. It is also likely that stress and pain you've been experiencing as a result of these troubles will start to weigh on you less heavily as well. You know, the reverse Five of Cups can signify relief and an ending of a period in your life. You may find new paths that will overcome your losses that you experienced. You should be proud of what you have overcome and that you're able to move forward as well. Oh, you're giving them out randomly at an event for people who bought other stuff. Ah, that's so cool. I want to be able to go to like an event someday, but I'm a neat, so I do a lot of drawings and then give it to my friend to like give away as postcards. Emotionally, the reverse Five of Cups can signify a shift towards acceptance, forgiveness, and emotional healing. Feelings of loss and regret are starting to dissipate and making way for more positive outlook. Five of Cups can also be showing towards emotional healing and positive transformation, taking steps to release any lingering negativity or self-blame you have for past events. This card also promotes self-care, forgiveness, and letting go, and encourages to have emotional growth, resilience, and a brighter outlook on life. Hopefully that was helpful, Chess. Alright, doing another stretch. My gosh. This granny got creaky bones when it's so cold. Maybe I'll make some tarot cards myself. Would you guys be interested in that? Maybe I'll make that as like a New Year's resolution. Make a whole Amuro tarot deck. That sounds a little fun. I'll try my best. Part of me is like, maybe I'll do it for a series like Touhou. That would be fun too. And then, you know, we can all work out like which character is what card as we do that too. That actually sounds a lot more community driven as well. Some thoughts in mind. Alright, did anyone want to do one last reading here? I think I'll call it good after we hit the next hour here. But yeah, we'll see. I'll think about it. You know, with 2026 coming closer and closer, maybe it's time to do a little checkup and New Year's resolution of seeing how I've been doing and stuff. I kind of do that for my birthday. So that did just pass, so it'll be a while. But yeah, I hope you guys have been enjoying these weekly tarot readings. I am curious of the process and how you guys feel about them. I guess I'm just like I would like a critique on how my weekly tarot readings go and how you guys feel about them. Oh, Bio Penguin, you'd like to have a general reading? Sure. Let's see. The devil. Dun dun dun. Alright. Don't be afraid. The devil upright means oppression, addiction, obsession, dependency, excess powerlessness, and limitations. So I did want to say we actually got the devil card for someone previously on a very first reading, and they got back to me and was just like, yeah, it's actually really important because I was feeling quite tempted to spend a lot of money when I had no money in the first place. I was like, oh, thank God. Yeah, you better be careful, man. But okay, so devil card as a major arcana. Like, this is something, I do apologize for those who have heard me say this so many times. For me, major arcanas mean like this is something you should really focus on, that you should be careful about, and you should like really like understand and think about what this card is telling you. Um, so getting the Devil card in your reading shows you have a feeling of entrapment, emptiness, and a lack of fulfillment in your life. It might mean that you feel like a slave to materialism, and no matter how hard you try, you just can't shake off the feeling wanting to indulge in luxurious living. You might also be aware that this kind of lifestyle is leading you down the rabbit hole, that you have feelings of not having any form of control over your actions or urges. Hi Kiharu, welcome. Maybe you're addicted to substances or material pleasures that can be the reason for your feeling of powerlessness. In situations as these, you may feel as though you're unable to control your impulses or willpower to direct yourself towards something other than the satisfaction of these desires. So, quick ideas, just like, maybe lustful feelings, feeling trapped at a job, blaming colleagues, you're self-sabotaging yourself, having bad financial habits. It's like a selfish desire for instant gratification. There's nothing wrong with having a bit of fun, but make sure you're not hurting others or giving them the wrong impression of when you do. Can also signal of addiction, like you might be like codependent on something. Over time, this can be destructive to the individuality and self, and like yourself, or even those around you. So be wary and ensure that like you and the other like the people surrounding you remain strong during these times. You may feel stuck or trapped like at work, you're staying somewhere where you dislike. You don't have many options in front of you. It may be easy to blame your circumstances or bad luck like at a bunch of external factors. You might also be quite dependent on your job, with the money situation and stuff. And you feel like you're powerless to make the change to actually get a job like that you're happy with. Regardless of like all of it is, the Devil's appearance can signal that you do have more choices than you think you do. You just need to reclaim it. It can be scary because you have to take accountability, but it also can be very empowering in those feelings too. Financial situations may be exaggerated with the bad habits, with the Devil being seen in a reading. It can be signaling that there's more often you can do to bring yourself out of this state, but you may be either failing to see the solution or you're unable to change your mind. Emotionally, like you might be feeling quite I don't know, like just like intense feelings, like they run deep. They between like a desire, dependency on something or someone. The Devil suggests that you're like trapped in a certain pattern. You might feel pulled towards indulgence or distraction. It's very important to acknowledge like these feelings that you have, so that you can uplift yourself out of these situations when it happened. Yeah, I know the Devil card does look scary. You're like, ooh, I'm kind of screwed, but it does kind of just tell you that it's just like it signals that you might be like trapped by like earthly desires or negative patterns. They're like the primal urges like within ourselves, but you have to like break free from that. A card like this is kind of telling you to see like what truly controls you, like is it like the stuff around you, or is it yourself? Are you lacking discipline within yourself to like avoid those controls? Recognize that like you can make a choice yourself, you know? Like, don't let the material, like, goods, the earthly desires, things like that, be the ones to make those choices. Like, find it within yourself to, like, break those chains and be aware of those steps. I hope that was helpful. I don't know what you're going through, but maybe you're like, there's like perhaps a focus that you're putting a lot on yourself. That is not like on you, you know. Like you're not giving yourself the space to be able to take care of yourself. Like you're letting everything else around you be doing that instead. I mean, this could be read a lot of ways. The devil card is quite materialistic, so again, with like the holiday season coming up, maybe there's something major with I don't know, like you're doing a lot of work and you're putting so much time into work that you're like hurting yourself. Like you're just so focused on it so that you can make money. Something like that. I mean, just thoughts, ideas, you know, of what it is. So do be wary of it, but do recognize that you're able to break free from those. I do fight against the urge to buy stuff often. At least I thought I did. Well, I mean, at least you recognize it, you know? That's a step. Now you gotta not do it, you know? Now you gotta not do it. One step at a time though, you know? Don't worry. It's like I said, if you recognize it, then you can work on it. And that's a very, very big step in my opinion. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed my weekly tarot reading again for today, for this week. And yeah, pretty excited. Hope this is all helpful for you guys too. If not, if it doesn't relate to you at all, you know, that happens. Figures and plushies are so nice. I don't blame you. It's so hard. Sometimes I think about like purchasing stuff and then it's like, oh, it's so expensive. It's so hard out here. But yeah, you know, that's a good idea. I like the idea of doing drawing strings for the tarot cards. Maybe I could plan that out as something starting like next year. An original tarot deck would be cool. But I feel like I'd have a lot more fun drawing from a series. So I would love to I think like a Toho tarot deck sounds really fun. I definitely want to try that out or something. Okay. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I already said that. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. I am going to be playing Kimono Tea Time in about 2 hours from now. So I'm going to take a bit of a break here, make some food, and we'll enjoy a totally comfy, cozy game that is not sad at all. Watsumuro, thank you for watching. See you guys next time. Bye bye.